Hello, my wonderful people. How are you all doing today? I hope you're good. Today, I bring to you an interesting topic. I'm going to be talking about tips parents, guidance, or teachers could use to help young children to write. Okay, so the topic today is I'm going to be giving tips on how parents, guidance, or teachers of young children could help this group of children to write. I know it is sometimes challenging and difficult to get young children to write, especially when we talk about the preschool age, from the age of 1 upward. I know it is sometimes challenging, and this could lead to frustration. Parents, guiders, and teachers could be frustrated sometimes when they want young children to write and they are not writing. So I'm going to be sharing tips on how you could encourage this group of children to write, okay? So the first way to go about encouraging young children to write is you make sure you get them pencil grip, okay? So when you get them pencil grip, they sell this in the store, okay? So pencil grip, it's an object, you just insert the pencil into it, and it's going to help the children, support the children in terms of their fine motor skills to be able to write, okay? So the first thing is, as a parents, guidance, or teachers of young children, if you want to encourage them to write, you have to get a pencil grip, okay? So because when they use this pencil grip, it's going to support their fine motor skills to be able to write, okay? So it's going to help them in terms of their finger to be able to write, okay? So another tip or another way you could support young children to write is get them crayons to start with. Crayons are bigger than pencil, okay? So when you get this group of children crayon to start with, so they can use the crayons to scrabble around on a piece of paper, okay? So, or on a chalkboard, okay? So, or on the blackboard. So it's going to help them in terms of to be able to use their fine motor skills. It's going to support them, to hold, to use their fingertips to be able to write. Because when you look at pencil, young children using pencils, pencil is a little bit, tinier than crayons, okay, and markers, okay? So if you want to encourage or support your children, or if you're a teacher of young children, you want to support this group of children to write, I would encourage you that you get them crayons, get them markers, golf chalk as well. You can get them chalk, like chalkboard, something, the chalk that they used to write on the board, because these are actually bigger. And the children needs to start from somewhere before you introduce them to pencil, okay? So they need to start from somewhere. So introduce crayons, introduce chalkboard, chalk, introduce golf chalk, okay? So it's going to encourage this group of children to be able to hold their finger, okay? Use their fine motor skills, and this in turn will help them to be able to write, okay? So another tip I'm going to share with you is, this might sound funny, but it's definitely going to work, okay? So use, in terms of supporting children to write, use food, okay? Like I'm going to cite an example, like mashed potato, okay? So for example, mashed potato, if you're a parent or guardian, you make a mashed potato, and you let your children to, make marks on it, okay? So like if you want them to write like R, for example, A, okay? So you let them to use their fingertips to make that mark of R on that mashed potato, okay? It might sound funny, I'll tell you, but this is going to help them, okay? So another way you could use food is, for example, people from an African background, so like pounded yam or pando yam, okay? So you as the parent or as the guardian, you make this, and you let this group of children, especially maybe if you have young children that you want them to write or they're starting to write, so they can just scribble around the pounded yam or pando yam, they just make mark, like a round shape, like a circle, okay? So it's going to help them, because writing has to do with using fine motor skills, okay? So it's important to use food to encourage young children to write, okay? So make mashed potato, okay? So you could also use bread as well, okay? The bread, the edge of the bread, bread is a square shape, so those edges, you could actually cut it, or you encourage young children to cut it as well, and they can make, they can make a name out of it, or they can make a letter out of it. So you can ask them to make R or A or B, so they can make it using breadcrumbs, okay? So this sounds funny, but it's really important, if you're a parent or your guardian, also a teacher as well, you could introduce this, okay, in relation to helping young children to write. Okay, so I'm going to go through it again. If you as a parent or guardian or a teacher of young children, if you want to encourage them to write, okay, so the first way to go about it is make sure you get a pencil grip, because this group of children, they are still young, okay, so you need to get them a pencil grip. The pencil grip will be able to support them. You know, the pencil is being inserted into the pencil grip, okay. So, and another way also in terms of like getting a pencil grip, you could actually make one using a clay, okay. So if you're creative as an adult, you want to explore your creativity, you can make a pencil grip using a clay, okay. So all you just have to do is, you know, make the clay and in a circle, and then you can just insert the pen into it. You let it dry, you know, make a hole in the middle, you let it dry, and then you insert the pencil into it. You've actually made a pencil grip for your child, or if you're a teacher as well, okay. So if you want to encourage children to write, use pencil grip. Start by using pencil grip, okay. So another way is get crayons. You know, crayons are actually bigger. Get chalk, you know, the golf chalk as well, you know, the chalk they use in the golf, okay. Get markers. You know, children start by scribbling, you know, let them scribble using this. It's going to really help them, okay. So another way is, which might sound funny, like I said earlier, is using food, okay. So mashed potato, for those from the African background, you can make your pounded yam or pando yam, you know, let children scribble on it. You know, they might start by making a letter, start by writing a letter A, B, C, and then before you know it, let them make marks. You know, from young age, children start, they just don't write, they start by making marks, you know, like shapes. So you can encourage them to also use food, okay, in terms of their writing, to make marks on it, okay. So thank you so much for watching and listening. I believe if you try these few tips, and I encourage you, try these few tips and come out and leave your comment section, okay, in the comment box, because I'll be willing to take this. Thank you so much for watching.